Yep, the nervous system is really something. I wasn't going to make a video today, but I decided I was going to. Oh boy. I'm not feeling great, honestly. I'm feeling under the weather, both mentally and physically, but I still wanted to make this video. And I do want to mention, yes, trigger warning, but I also wanted to clarify something else as well. Whilst I love the idea of helping people, it feels like this video is talking to my inner child. So if I do sound a little bit, I don't know, oddly specific, I guess that's the closest thing I can say. That's why. But I hope that you guys can take something from it. I was listening to a podcast and I got a bit emotional because it really made me see how human I was. And a lot of the times, sometimes we can't feel like we're human. And what I mean by that is we just don't give ourselves time to grieve. We don't give ourselves enough time to process things, and the immediate gratification, it takes over. So, yeah. And yes, this is a vulnerable video, quite bluntly. So it's most likely not going to be edited. It's not easy, but whoever's watching this, I'm very proud of you, okay? I know it's not easy. I know you've been through a lot. I know life has not exactly been giving reasons to smile at times. And I know that sometimes it's like the world is against you. But one thing that I want to say is that you are here for you. You are more loyal to your positive values than people are to the people around them, especially those who are supportive. Yes, you've made mistakes, but you've also learned from them. You've grown from them. You've matured from them. And I know that it's never easy. So I just want you guys to take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And just remember, you've got this. Life's never easy for anyone. But at the same time, I'm proud of you. It's not easy. I'm not trying to speak generic BS so that you guys can feel impressed. I don't care about that. The fact that we're still fighting when things are hard is really something. I felt the pain of the past resurface. The thoughts I never wanted to name, they've returned. Even if they're not as strong as they used to be, and I've gone stronger, I still wonder, what did the younger me have to go through? How did she handle it? If she wasn't even near as strong as I am now, how did she handle it? And it makes me feel for her. It makes me want to protect her. Honestly. So I've been thinking a lot from this podcast, and it was mentioned. The speaker mentioned a lot of things being about how life programs us to think this way. And yeah, it's true. Our experiences shape who we become, be it good or bad. How we respond is ultimately how we become. And I think that this is something that is a good reminder. It's not your fault, but accountability is needed. So for this video only, I guess, okay, I'm still gonna be blunt because that's literally what the appeal is here. But I want to speak to you guys and my inner child like people who are suffering, not as victims, not as people who don't have accountability, but to the version of us who didn't deserve it. Because I think it's important, whilst taking accountability, to also grieve what could have been. Not for the sake of grieving, because it's important to get ourselves, it's important to ground ourselves, but we should also be knowledgeable about things. Okay. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I'm sorry you had to go through those sad times where you sat alone having lunch. I'm sorry you had to go through the betrayal from those closest to you. I'm sorry that you found it hard to make a true friend who cares about you, who goes beyond just messaging you. When you message first, I'm sorry you had to be the only one who cared. I'm sorry for all the hurtful things that were said to you. I'm sorry about the neglect you've given your own body. What caused you to have sleepless nights. And I love you. I genuinely adore you. I wish I could protect you. I wish we could be two separate entities sometimes, just so I could have you in my prayers and within my companionship. And I'll always carry you with me, no matter where I go. You are my priority. Just as this tree that's shedding all these leaves, you've grown. Trees shed leaves so that new ones grow. Just as I have to let go of you sometimes. Just as we both have to let go of the things that once hurt us, the things that once bound us. But I promise you, it's worth letting go. And I promise you, you're far stronger than you give yourself credit. And to the me who was really struggling all this time but still kept going, thank you. I know life was hard. I know people didn't give you a reason to smile. I know life didn't give you the best reasons either to smile. Even if God was testing you, he still showed you his love, his mercy. And I'm thankful to him. You've become closer to God, and I'm proud of you. And the younger me, I am immensely grateful to you. You stayed alive even when things were difficult, and because of you, I'm here today. Had you given up, I wouldn't have been here. So thank you. I think it's important to have conversations with the inner child, or at least having some kind of interaction. So, like I've mentioned before, there were times I bought products I wanted as a kid, and I was thinking, even if they're nowhere near as good as I hoped, it was something I wanted as a kid. So once upon a time, this was what I wanted. And honestly, it really does help. No, I didn't mean to go that way. No. And yeah, I hope this video isn't boring. It's definitely a lot slower than how I intended it to be. I know I'm not crying. I know I sound like I am. It's my sniffy nose, honestly. What the heck are we doing? I needed to go the other way. Honestly. I'm done being a victim, but we do have to notice that there are parts of us we can grieve. There are parts of us that we are allowed to go through. And life moves so fast. That's why we feel like we prolong our healing, because we keep thinking, I don't have time to grieve. And then everything comes crashing down. So I get it, guys. Life stings. Life definitely stings. But even so, it hurts staying in the same place more than healing. And the podcast I watched, they also mentioned that no one likes healing because it's repetitive and it's painful. And I was thinking, that's true. No one likes repetition. No one likes being told it'll be okay. No one likes being told, okay, things will get better. It's annoying, right? But that repetition is what's needed to rewire until you become sick and tired of your own BS and you start moving. Sorry, it's kind of like a default for me to talk about a solution while I complain about something. But yeah, I just think it's important to honor a part of yourself. Even if there's a part of you that you didn't like, it's because of a result of something else. There are some parts of my childhood which I wish I could have retracted. But I know that I'm not romanticizing, I'm not justifying, but I know that some experiences were the reason why. So instead of just telling myself, okay, this version of me sucked, I wish I could erase it, it happened as a result of this. And thankfully, I'm not like that anymore. And that's how I like to see things. Because that's when I take accountability, but that's when I also understand where it comes from. And that's what a lot of people are afraid to do. Healing is not just, okay, I want to get better. It's facing everything that hurt you. And I think the repetition is definitely tiring, but so is the interpretation that, shoot, I gotta face the music. And that's where things get tough. So I really do try, guys. Oh, it does work. The bird just stays here. Yeah, I saw this on a short recently, so I was like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, guys, I really think that it's important to focus on these kind of things. And the reason why I made this video in this particular mood is so it feels more real to you guys. I didn't plan this video. The plans of God once again. Because it's more genuine like that. I genuinely feel terrible and I'm trying to heal with you guys. Instead of just telling you, oh, this is what I do to heal, blah, 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 when I feel down. Nah, I'm feeling down right now and I'm talking. So I just feel it's more authentic that way. And what better timing? Because I really wanted to make a video on the nervous system, kind of healing yourself and inner talk, all of that stuff. But it's really, really divinely planned and timed to actually talk about it while I feel low because it's more natural. But yeah, it's very important to acknowledge these things. Like, yeah, there's parts of me I wish I could erase, of course. Things I wish I never did, embarrassing things, but at the same time, I'm not here to just count all the embarrassing moments. Everyone has them, and I've learned to normalize that. And if I feel like it's still impacting people, forget, people move on. We're the ones who hold on to things. So if I've done something embarrassing maybe years ago, people forget, people move on. People have a life. And if I keep dwelling on it, I just forget. Everyone has moments that are embarrassing. Doesn't matter how strong of an embarrassing moment yours is. As long as people don't pester you about it to this day consistently, everyone has bad moments. Everyone has that, and I've learned to normalize that. And the reason why I'm mentioning this specifically is because my inner child was scared about that. She felt very insecure because people would comment on pretty much everything, down to her looks. So I would have to reaffirm it. And that's why rewiring takes a lot of, yeah, quote unquote nerve. Sorry, no pun intended, but genuinely. When you rewire things, as I've mentioned in one of my videos, you're basically going against everything you were taught as a kid or whatever made you become that way. So if you're always told that you look unattractive and you're teaching yourself to understand you are attractive or you are conventionally okay, as in everyone is beautiful. I don't really think people need to give certain labels. It's hard because you're going to think, oh, people used to call me this, people used to call me that. It's going to feel strange. And that's where the rewiring is tough. Like if you have a negative outlook on life pretty much 24/7, suddenly changing that into, okay, life is beautiful, it's gonna sound really frustrating because you're so used to the opposite. And that's what people find hard, and that's why people don't heal. So when I listened to that podcast, I was like, oh snap. That's true. People aren't afraid of just healing. People are afraid of confronting and changing everything they've been used to. Whether that comfort is, oh my God, whether that comfort is something that they are used to or not, whether it's a false comfort that's like, okay, I felt this way for a long time, so I'm just gonna stay that way, even if it's not good for you. It is very hard to get yourself out of a situation like that when you've always been programmed to think, this is my reality, this is how things are gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And that's why people refuse to heal and people stay the same, because they don't want to embrace that change. It's uncomfortable, and that's true. I don't think a caterpillar is quite happy transforming into a butterfly. It must feel so strange because its body is changing physically. And even though it's built to fly, which is, of course, a much better attribute for it, it doesn't understand the greater plan of God. And that's how I feel about us, just generally. And this is if you believe in God or a higher power, or I believe everything has a divine intervention, but still, I respect people's beliefs, etc., as long as you respect mine. And yeah, like the caterpillar might know that it will turn into a butterfly, but it doesn't know that it's gonna benefit it. It might feel uncomfortable. Its body is shifting because it's so used to being on leaves. It's so used to just focusing on every plant it sees for nutrition. All of a sudden its body changes and it can fly, which is an even better thing. That's so much more portable for the butterfly itself. And that's what we as humans are becoming. We are experiencing this change. It's uncomfortable. And we know it's for our welfare. We know it's for our benefit. And we wouldn't have had it any other way. But we wouldn't choose that discomfort to change. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying a caterpillar is going to feel pain with transforming into a butterfly, but it leaves behind its old identity. It's not a caterpillar anymore. It's a butterfly. But it's so much better with what it does, because now it can fly instead of just wiggle its way to the next leaf. I don't know where I'm going, pardon me, but yeah. And I think that that's something that we need to acknowledge as human beings. Embracing that change is painful. Embracing that healing is painful because it's confronting and it is repetitive. But the only reason why it gets repetitive in a bad way is because people don't do anything. So if you keep getting told by people life will get better, but you do nothing about it, that's when it's going to feel like, okay, life isn't going to get better because you're not doing anything. When you're doing something, you'll start to feel, okay, maybe life isn't that bad, because you start to do stuff. Oftentimes we get annoyed of hearing the same thing because we keep doing the same thing. So don't be tired of what other people tell you about life getting better. Be tired of the repetition you yourself are exuding. And that's something I needed as well. But yeah, and what does this have to do with the inner child? Everything. A lot of this has to do with how we grew up as people. Are you honoring your inner child? Are they going to be proud? And if you feel like your inner child... So some people have asked me this actually. What if you don't like your inner child? What if as a kid you want someone who had a good reputation? What if you were someone who genuinely you want a good child, or you don't want to think about it? Listen to me, okay? There's still a version of you that wants to change, okay? And if you don't like your inner child, think about the you want to be. Think about the you who would be proud. Because people make excuses. Okay, fine, let's get it. You didn't have a good childhood, for example, or something didn't inspire your inner child or your child self to be necessarily a good influence. That's okay. Life happens. Things like that happen. But who do you want to be like? And what helps is people around you. Is there anyone around you who you feel inspired by? And someone who you want to kind of adopt habits from? Maybe think like that and think, okay, this is the standard, okay? Because that helps as well. Having real life influences. And make sure your standards are reasonable, okay? Don't be around thinking, okay, this person has a mansion, this is my standard. No. Think about really rare attributes. Like this person responds to my text. Not just like that, but this person texts me. This person goes in detail when they text me. This person ensures I'm okay. or this person handles problems like a pro. Just look at really rare and almost decipher their behavior. And then you'll start to think, okay, I want to be more like that. Sometimes it's not just about honoring the inner child. It's also about, I want to be someone who's like that. And it's incredible. Without idolizing anyone, just remember, you have a lot of inspirations around you. Maybe there is someone you watch on any platform, because sometimes you don't even have to know the people personally. As long as they benefit you in some way and you are helping yourself respectfully, then it's amazing to be inspired by people. And I think that's a really good way to either honor your inner child. So I'll give you an example. Maybe you watch a YouTuber or you watch someone and they remind you of something. I don't know. Like maybe you talk to someone and you feel healing. Maybe somehow it feels like you're healing your inner child from that. Or you're thinking, okay, my childhood lacked that. So you find it, you seek solace in someone else. So you feel like a part of you has been kind of revived. So I have friends now, but once upon a time I used to struggle with that. And the void can still be there because the kid me is still there. She's always there. And this is another thing that people need to know about healing. It never goes away 100%. And even now, I still think about the lonely girl. I still have those feelings. I still have those urges. I still feel like no one is there but me. But it becomes easier over time. It's like reminding yourself, except you don't have to remind yourself as much. And eventually it becomes second nature. Like, yeah, I do have this. But resurfaces happen when you're becoming stronger as a person. That's why it's called resurfacing and not experiencing. And because of what I was mentioning before about being with better people, right? It honored the version of me that didn't have anyone. So it gave a bit of closure to my inner child or the version of me who couldn't have friends. Because I have people around me now. So that gives a bit of closure. And I think that's another thing that we as humans lack. Besides immediate gratification, lack of closure. So generally when something doesn't go our way or people don't explain why they have to leave or why certain things happen, we're so intuitive. We're quite curious. That's how our species are generally. We wonder why things happen. We have the tendency to be inquisitive. And we don't get closure. And that causes our nervous system to go in a spiral. I did some research on this. It's kind of interesting. Explains why I'm so nosy sometimes. But honestly, it's important to understand this. Because just by doing something like inner child talking or whatever, like what I'm doing, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I feel a lot more refreshed after talking about it. And it's like I spoke to the version of me who didn't get the closure that she needed. But a few moments ago, I was so down in the dumps, but now I feel slightly better. Of course, I still have remnants of it, but thank God it gets easier. And I hope you guys can feel how contagious it is. I'm sending you healing as well. And that's part of life. You see how we go from A to B so quickly. I'm not saying our emotions are just useless, but sometimes you just get happy to sad so easily. It's like, oh my goodness, just from a mere thought, you become really happy. Just from a mere thought, you become sad. And when we learn how to navigate through it, we can respond better. So, yeah, I'm sure there are versions of you that were unhealed, but think about ways that people have made it possible for you. Like what gaps were there in your life, your personal life, and people have filled it in for you, or something has filled it in for you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's also important. So one of the things I mentioned was listening. That's a huge trauma of mine. I grew up with people with loud opinions, but my opinion was somehow too loud for them. And it's not because my opinion was loud, literally, but I never had anyone who could actually listen to me or my side of the story. So I know it sounds corny, but I'm not saying this for any clout. I don't care about clout. But I've mentioned this before. I'm grateful to you guys. You guys have given me the opportunity to be heard. And I'm gonna get emotional, but that's just how it is. There's a void in me that felt like she didn't deserve to be heard because people around me never listened to her. Even though I wanted to be heard so bad by specific people, you guys have filled that void in me, because now I can think, okay, fine, even if this person or these people don't listen to me, there is still someone out there who will listen. And that is filling part of that void. So it's the same with your inner child. If there is anything that you lacked, maybe a good childhood, why did you lack a good childhood? I know it sounds so triggering, but that's the whole point. Was someone absent in your life? Did someone therefore make you feel a bit better? Now, if it's something really difficult, like a parent or a family member, I get you. But does anyone in your life still make you feel like, okay, even when I didn't have them, I still had this person? Or even when I had this, trust me, look deep in, guys. Some people will say, I had nothing. There is always something to be grateful for. There is always something that we take for granted. And even if it's not to do with people, there is something unhealed that your life has given you. Even if you don't see it, look deeper. I'm not trying to BS you and say, oh, there's something there when there's nothing there. There is something there. And I want you guys to see it. I want you guys to truly, truly embody that version. There's always a reason to be grateful. There's a reason to honor everything. And gratitude often calms down the nervous system as well, because it's a state of grounding. You're not just saying, I'm grateful for this. You are going beyond it. You're like, okay, I have this. I couldn't have felt better. It could have been worse. And that's what people mistake it for. Like, people keep thinking gratitude is like, okay, I'm grateful for this. No, you need to literally embody someone who is abundantly grateful. That's why you notice when life takes you to extremes and you try to get yourself out of a situation, you start to appreciate things that you never had before. Life humbles you like that. And then you realize how much you had. Or maybe there was a person in your life who you didn't value enough. Suddenly they're gone and that's it. Life happens like that. But you don't just keep grieving, you move on and become a person worth honoring. You know what I'm saying? You want to be someone remembered, and you want to remember someone worth remembering. So yeah, I think it's very important to talk about these kind of things. So I know I yapped quite a bit about this, but let me know in the comments, guys, how you guys handle it. Do you have any gaps that you want to share with anyone that's been filled, or you're filling, or you feel like, okay, even if I don't know the answer, I'm at least 1% better than I was yesterday. And 1% is not literally 1%. It's a phrase, and it's just saying you're better than before. Honestly. And the 1% itself is tiny, but it's still better than 0, right? I mean, 1% over 100 days is 100%. See? When you think about it like that, it puts a lot more perspective. But yeah. Anyway, it's so funny. They literally said the kids have grown up so much. Oh my god. They're listening to me. Okay. So yeah, I do feel slightly better. And honestly, it's because I have people I know who are gonna listen to me. I have people who are going to respect my opinions and so on. That's another shift as well. Like me talking like this on camera, etc. This is another huge shift for me. When you know someone is there for you, you speak differently and you're like, you know what? I could run, I could sound this, I could do what? As long as I have good intentions, as long as I am myself, there is someone who's there for me. And that's a way I shift my perspective. So even when I'm down in the dumps, I just remember there are people who give a damn about me. And I sure as hell give a damn about them as well. But yeah, I think my rant session is over. I was not going to upload today, but I guess I did. But yeah, I have to get around to drawing now. Otherwise, I'm going to procrastinate too much. But I hope this helps. And I know it does sound a bit personal. Like I said, it was speaking to my inner child. But I do think some things can be taken more generally as well. Thank you for being here, guys. Genuinely. You guys have genuinely changed my life. And I'm not trying to sound cliche with that. by knowing that there is a platform where I can speak my mind freely and people honor it and truly benefit from it makes me happy. More than I can ever express. Because that's honoring the version of me, that child who no one wanted to listen to. So she's happy and she's saying thank you. Whoopsies, I didn't mean to do that. I just wanted to zoom in. Okay, I'm gonna go before I run too much, but I do feel a bit better. I hope it's contagious. And I'm wishing you a good day as well. I'll try my best with mine. It can be hard, but I'm known for not giving up. And I hope you guys can do the same. Also, please support my coffee page as well. And I have much in my description if you are interested in more Suzu-based stuff. And I will see you guys when I see you next time, I guess. Toodles!